Un, dos, y un, dos, tres, y... Bueno, sí. Camina. Rico, rico, rico. Y como dice mi coro que sigue ahí. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Escucha. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Melodía, melodía. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Ay, escucha mi salsa ahora. Ahora estamos gozando para bailar, para gozar, qué rico está. Escucha mi salsa buena, ahí donde traigo la salsa buena, es la verdad. Ahora estamos gozando hasta la mañana. Bueno, mira, escucha ahora. Si escucha mi salsa ahora, mi salsa para bailar, este ritmo tan sabroso, el ritmo para guarachar. Yo te canto con sentimiento y manana te lo voy a dar. Muévese con sabrosura, abre la ventana para respirar. Escucha mi salsa buena, abre la ventana. Ey, yo te traigo la salsa buena. Estamos gozando ahí nada más, que rico está. Escucha mi salsa buena, si yo te traigo mi salsa ahora. Estamos gozando ahí nada más. Bueno, escucha de nuevo, mira. Los tambores se están arrollando, la banda está en candela ya, todo el mundo está bailando. Vente, mi gente, vamos a gozar.
Y ya no sabes lo que pasa.
El primer verso, papi.
Lo que manda aquí la clave. Este ritmo guaguanco, esto es lo que existe. Y también está mi chamaco, nadie nos resiste.
Che, no resiste.
Aquí estamos bravos, la chema tan brava. Esta vida es brava, y yo también soy bravo. Por eso lo que repica son los cueros. Aquí lo que suena es fuego. Mueve la abuela el pescadero, hasta lo mueve el aduanero. Norte a sur, lo ves moviendo. La orilla del mar, nos ve sonriendo. Y yo sé lo que tenemos no es para juego, y esto divino. Por eso lo que hacemos quitar tu mano con ritmo letales.
Good morning, good morning. Or shall I say grand rising, grand rising. For those who don't believe in good morning. How is everyone doing? ¿Cómo está mi gente? Hola, Livewire. ¿Cómo se va, monsieur? I know you just left Miss Madame Titi's space. She should be coming in soon. She's one of the contestants and the participants for the 5th annual Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest for a chance to win $200. How's everyone doing today? I'm hoping that everyone is refreshed. If you're out and about, don't worry about it, because we will have this contest recording replay for those of you who missed it, because I do know that it is a holiday today, but today is a special day, and I'm hoping that everyone will come in on time to do what they have to do. And if not, I still have their recordings from their poetry available on our website. But for now, I want to play the story behind, or the significance behind, the actual poetry contest and the podcast for Salty Coffee.
On March 31st, 1989, I accompanied my mother to the hospital for hernia removal surgery. Shortly after the anesthesia was administered, the doctor came back with the news that there were complications, and my mother had slipped into a coma. By April 12, 1989, the hospital determined that there was no hope and made the decision to pull the plug. At the time, I was just 19 years old and in my first year of college. I had to quit my part-time job and withdraw from school. The family had no financial means to cover the funeral expenses, and I had no savings or income to rely on. With the support of friends and family, I was able to start anew within a year. During my initial year of employment at Columbia University, I had the privilege of meeting exceptional colleagues who offered invaluable resources and guidance essential for a successful professional journey. Notably, Mr. Arthur Mack shared insights on investments, savings bonds, and tax deductions crucial for financial literacy. Sadly, the recent passing of Wilma Dunbar, a mentor in my personal life, left a profound impact. From the onset of my tenure at Columbia, she imparted knowledge on our bargaining agreement, shedding light on the ongoing struggle for human rights and gender equality. Our discussions underscored the progress made by women while emphasizing the need for continued advocacy and reform. My mission has been to empower women worldwide to discover their true identity through meaningful conversations and practical application of newfound knowledge. In pursuit of this goal, I established the Salty Coffee podcast and initiated a poetry contest in memory of my late mother. Her teachings on integrity, respect, and accountability resonate in my endeavors, emphasizing the importance of upholding one's word without causing harm to others, whether physically or emotionally. I want to thank all of those who participated in the contest and the audience for listening every Sunday on Self Care Sunday to Salty Coffee. Thank you all, and I love you.
Thank you for those who listen and give you a little bit of insight of the book that I will be writing during my retirement. It will be published after I retire, and it's going to be called 3555, which is 35 years of service at 55 years old. And that's going to be part of that. The reason I believe that I was put in a place such as Columbia University was having to do with everything that I had to endure during that time. And luckily for me, I ended up having friends who really knew what I needed at the time and dedicated themselves to support me in finding employment there. But welcome again, Livewire, Sister Crystal. Please feel free to leave comments. Even though this is going to be a little bit on the scheduled side, it's going to be a long morning. So 11 a.m., we're supposed to have Madame TT. Let me just see, because she left me a message. So let me just quickly check. Sorry about that. All right. I keep forgetting. Well, I don't keep forgetting. I just have to keep in mind that some of the contestants are not from the USA, and so their timing is going to be a little bit off, way off in some cases. But we're going to have Madame Titi. We're going to have Sonia, who's a supporter of Salty Coffee every Sunday. She's there. Sister Crystal Mina, thank you for stopping by, and hopefully you'll hang in there. At 12 o'clock, I am going to stream the recording of Bernard. Bernard goes by the name of Rags 67, I believe, on here on Stereo app. For those of you who are on Stereo app, this is also live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So if you would like to leave a comment, just so that you're aware that your comment will be live on those platforms as well. I know my listeners are not the type to leave bad messages, but just in case, for those of you who are walking in And again, the poetry contest is going to be fun. It's just a place for us to come in and share our artwork. The funding for the artwork was sponsored by the P2G Networks, along with the Salty Coffee Podcast. This is the fifth um, poetry contest for the Salty Coffee. So I'm excited because I remember my first poetry contest. We had over 300 votes from Ecuador. And it was a tie between an adult here in the USA and a 10-year-old in Ecuador. So when the podcast started, it was more international, if you will, than here domestic in the USA. So I am so grateful for those who won the previous years. So I'm going to go through as this talk. So let me just see here again the schedule. So at 12 p.m. I will showcase "If I Was the Devil" by Bernard. At 1 p.m. we're gonna have a break. At 12 p.m. "If I Was the Devil" by Bernard. At 12:30, "How I Exhale" by Elizabeth. At 1 p.m. we're gonna take a break. And at 1:30, we're going to have "People and Purpose" by Karen. At 1:35, we're going to have M-Spec with "Tin Surprise." And then, unfortunately, because some people are in another country, we've considered and agreed to have the voting process from March 31st through April 12th. And I know Livewire was here, but the people who are walking in, they missed the message of why the poetry contest started. So I will play it again, but let me play this message.
Hey, Salty Coffee. How you doing? I hope you have a good day.
Hi, Blake. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Thank you and welcome. Welcome to the Salty Coffee Poetry Contest. So, Madame TT, are you available now to do or do you want to wait another 10 minutes? I know I said 11:15, but I'll play again the message as to how and why the Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest was initiated.
On March 31st, 1989, I accompanied my mother to the hospital for hernia removal surgery. Shortly after the anesthesia was administered, the doctor came back with the news that there were complications, and my mother had slipped into a coma. By April 12, 1989, the hospital determined that there was no hope and made the decision to pull the plug. At the time, I was just 19 years old and in my first year of college. I had to quit my part-time job and withdraw from school. The family had no financial means to cover the funeral expenses, and I had no savings or income to rely on. With the support of friends and family, I was able to start anew within a year. During my initial year of employment at Columbia University, I had the privilege of meeting exceptional colleagues who offered invaluable resources and guidance essential for a successful professional journey. Notably, Mr. Arthur Mack shared insights on investments, savings bonds, and tax deductions crucial for financial literacy. Sadly, the recent passing of Wilma Dunbar, a mentor in my personal life, left a profound impact. From the onset of my tenure at Columbia, she imparted knowledge on our bargaining agreement, shedding light on the ongoing struggle for human rights and gender equality. Our discussions underscored the progress made by women while emphasizing the need for continued advocacy and reform. My mission has been to empower women worldwide to discover their true identity through meaningful conversations and practical application of newfound knowledge. In pursuit of this goal, I established the Salty Coffee Podcast and initiated a poetry contest in memory of my late mother. Her teachings on integrity, respect, and accountability resonate in my endeavors, emphasizing the importance of upholding one's word without causing harm to others, whether physically or emotionally. I want to thank all of those who participated in the contest and the audience for listening every Sunday on Self Care Sunday to Salty Coffee. Thank you all, and I love you.
Here to support and as well to make some noise and to celebrate you and your mom and as well all the beautiful artists that are just bringing their art forward. And that's so beautiful. So I'm glad that I was able to catch y'all on real time. So woo woo! I hope you're doing well and everyone as well, the listeners. So that means I should get into my reading my poem now. I thought maybe I don't know, but for sure I can. I just wanted to before that because I recorded something actually a song that came to mind that I believe it will be kind of beautiful. And it is quite touching for me. I hope it can get to you too. But I'll send this, and depending on what's your planning, I can go ahead and do that first, and then send you the recording of poetry because I'm gonna be here not.
Hey, Madame Titi. I think I had the live here on stereo. I don't know why I did that. To not have guests, and I don't know how to change it at this moment. But here, I'm gonna add you now, and then let's see if that works. I hope it doesn't take me out of the. Okay, here we go. Are you available now to pick up? Just for those of you who are, oh, now you're calling? Okay, here we go. Yay! You made it. I'm so happy that you're here. Bonjour. Buen día. ¿Cómo estás?
So happy to be here. So thankful for you making the time to open this space, hold this space. So I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited too that you are here. I mean, we've been trying to get together for how long now?
Girl, it's crazy how time passes, right? And it's just like 2024, and I'm pretty sure that was like what 2023, 2022 Lord. So that's what we're making happen.
So I'm hoping that you will still go ahead and perform the trilingue because I love it.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, for sure, for sure. I will definitely go to read it. I don't know if you're okay before I do that. Like I open the space with a song. I actually recorded it as soon as I finished the little practice I was doing with the guitar. So it might not be perfect, but it's kind of like a dedication to you and your mom, if you allow me.
absolutely, most definitely, yes.
Perfect. Thank you. So I go get my phone because I don't have it right here. Let me go ahead and play this for you and as well for everyone around. So thank you as well for sharing with us. without you here. Ooh, okay.
Girl, you have me in tears over here.
Like, oh, bitch, you
You have me in tears. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much.
I've been so many places. I'm so glad it got to you. I said, such like a squishy, you know, those ones that take you the air out. That's the one
Yep.
that I get to.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
For
Ooh.
people that know English, I'm sorry. This song is just too much. It's in Spanish. It's called Mi Último Día, so translates to my last day. And it's just a powerful lyric that to this day, I don't even know how old it is, but it's like to this day, it just gets me in tears, but gets me excited because it's like shit, life, but at the same time, wow, life. So thank you for allowing me to share this with you today.
Well, thank you. Girl. Ooh. I know. Isn't it beautiful to and to know 2 languages is amazing, but to know 3, man, tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit how you ended up learning or speaking 3 languages. Just in a quick,
Oh,
you know. I know. Because I know.
That's the funny thing. Like I never expected it that it was gonna happen. I always loved languages, and I thought, you know, these people that okay, I know how to say yes, no, thank you. That was my goal. Learn yes, no, and thank you in languages. But then life allowed me to travel to the States, so that helped me practice the English. I work in a call center too, so that helped shape up the English side. And now I'm living in France. And now is an entirely different reality, and I come with the practice I did when I was studying in L'Alliance Française. So it's kind of nice in a way that without even knowing, I studied the languages, and now I can actually live through those realities. But it can be heavy, and it's just exploring and finding myself with them.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. For those of you who are just walking in, I just wanted to welcome you. If this is your first time in the Salty Coffee Podcast, welcome. Welcome. Make sure you're following everyone who's here, and make sure that if you're following me, that I follow you back. And also, for those who are on stereo, just so you're aware, we're live on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter, and on our website, www.saltycoffeepodcast. So if you feel compelled to leave a message, please do so, and just be respectful that and to know that other people in other platforms are listening. So thank you so much for being here and participating. So can you tell us, tu bizcochito, a little bit about your poem?
Yes, so I very much love to have the opportunity to present it because I have always feel odd. You know, I speak English, but then obviously I'm Dominican, so I speak Spanish. And it's funny how for me it's easy just to do those switch around, but people really don't understand unless they obviously speak different languages. And the reason I call this poem trilingue is because I always go like super big ideas, and I said, oh, I'm gonna do like this journey of how I'm living here. And this was actually inspired by the journey I did. Well, the journey I need to do to visit my other Dominican friend. She actually lives in Belgium. And it's funny how, although it's just 3 hours to get from France to Belgium from where I live, it's just like another switch when I get there. And that always leaves me kind of like, huh. But at the same time, there's this feeling of it's not the same. It's not the same as my country. Like the people are not the same. I try not to compare, but it's always kind of happens anyway. That inspired this. So
I love it. I love it. And you know why? Because it is interesting because sometimes, I guess scientifically, they ask you, how do you think? Do you think in Spanish or do you think in English? And sometimes when I was asked that as a kid, I had to really think about that because I do think and dream in English language, but when I had to communicate with my mom in Spanish, that's when I learned that I was translating. So I was thinking in English, but then translating. So, sometimes that's why the Spanish for me was very difficult because I had to translate it. So that's why they say that it's so important for you to learn a different language when you're a child because you can quick your brain is absorbing at the same time and you can execute it faster. Your brain is still brand new. So that's why to me to this day it's like so difficult. I'm like, okay, how do you say that in Spanish? So now I have to, yeah, so now I had to translate it in slow motion, and that's very difficult, and that's why practice and speaking the languages or language, a different language, is so important, to practice it, because otherwise you will tend to like slow down in the translation. But yeah, thank you for sharing
Yeah,
that.
I was thinking, and I knew about that before. I just want to add that it's so crazy, and that's why I love the fact that you mentioned, I guess obviously we as the adults, that's the responsibility on us, on the younger generation. Like, yes, we gotta push them to learn more than one language, because it's interesting how the elasticity is so fast and easy. They just watch maybe Dora 1, 2 episodes and they're already speaking the language. But for us, the adults, it's so hard. And that's why it's kind of like a muscle. We gotta keep on practicing it.
Yeah.
And I guess music is the for life and body. But when it comes to exploring new languages, it's so interesting because even there you can find a little bit of the culture in the language based on how it sounds. So people that listen gets, the invitation, because we are a world that keeps on getting bigger, globalized, we're more connected, and I guess we're just here waiting to be discovered, but we need to have the tools to be able to communicate and connect.
Absolutely. Well, let's get with
But
it.
anyway,
Trilingue.
I'm gonna come through what I came through. And the name of this poem is called Bittersweet Reflections, The Journey Within the Layers. And I hope you get into it and like it. And if you don't understand it, please let me know. I always love to explain my mind because I do like the idea of being understood. So yeah, there it is. Anyway, from Upi to my journey unfolds, with desires, expectations, energy untold. Ready for business and pleasure, I boarded the bus, crossing bridges, figurative and literal, with no fuss. In France, in Belgium, a blend of tongues I speak. English or French, my language speaks. Yet my heart keeps beating in Espanol, Dominican to the core. Navigating through layers of identities, a resilient woman I adore. As I walk, la mélange de roots in my soul, mixing and blending on layers I stroll. From comment to aftervent, a train ride awaits. Through faces, empty spaces, my gaze navigates. No cobrador here, no shouts, no cries. Just the time whistle as the train flies. No salsa, no merengue, just wheels ferry. Rolling and rolling as I'm writing my story. Back home, I yell to the driver, déjame aquí. But here is the itinerary I must follow to the T. Learn the roads, dive in, stream through. But still curious my journey I continue. In Birmingham, a different reality I find. 3 kisses instead of 2, a culture refined. Jasmine's world, a melting pot divine. Warm tea, a smile, in this world that I shine. Looking to share, but time moves fast. Already seeking my return, alas. You can compare pan de agua to pan de campaña. No soy de aquí ni soy de allá. My essence has too many layers still to find. And that is it.
I try. Well, that's what you get for making me cry earlier. But thank you so much. So this is what is the title for this one? Is it trilingual or because I was confused now? Oh snap. I don't even know. And I'm supposed to be doing this for 2 hours. We're back. We're back on Stereo app, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And I apologize for that. But thank you so much again for that. I think the 11:30 Sonia. So Sonia is how did before I go into that, how do you feel, Madame TT? Because you're always showing your poetry and you're always sharing so much good stuff. But unfortunately it's like at 3 in the morning on my time. And I'm like,
I know.
you're like TT Wanda. When you're sleeping, I'm here. But
And I'm here like the first one who would wake up like, hey, come on, Titi. And you're like, girl, I need to sleep.
yeah. But thank you so much. Your poetry has been noted. It's been recorded on here as well. And good luck. So you'll be hearing from me with the voting once the voting is over. So just for the listeners to know, to give the opportunity for everyone to be able to um, share their poetry, I made a decision to have the this episode broadcast so that they can share with their families who were unable to attend today live. And this way they'll have I think it's like 2 weeks, 2 weeks to share it with their family, and then everyone can vote. The link to vote will be posted at 3:30 p.m. on the website and on here. And you'll have 3 weeks or 2 weeks to have your family and friends vote. I think that this will be fair to those who are like you're in France, and for those who are celebrating Easter and unable to attend, or for those who are in London, because I have another contestant who's in London. And I think it's just a fair thing to do.
Did you want to all over the world? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you were here when I said that the first poetry contest, it was a 10-year-old who got 300 votes from Ecuador. She had her whole family. She had her whole family and her little village vote for her, and she won. She won the first poetry contest. Unfortunately, 5 years ago, I wasn't knowledgeable on the technology that we have today to be able to do what I do now, which is share it on stereo and also share it on the other platforms at the same time. I wasn't too techy back then, but it was
You live in
yeah. So that's why I have the last three winners documented, fully. And I'm happy about that. But thank you so much, Madame Titi. As always, you will always be in my heart. I'm always thinking about you. So, what's that girl doing now?
It goes both ways. I cannot wait for us, either for you to go to the States or for you to come to Europe so we can finish this physically, because I have something hard for me to get paid.
Yes.
And yeah, always a pleasure. Love what you do, and I appreciate you very much for thinking of me and keeping me in your mind. It goes both ways. So for making more time for times like this, because it's like, so yummy.
I
I don't know if
know.
you want me to stay here and help you with the messages, or I go, I'm here now. I have a tea.
No.
I have blood. If it's the moment for you, my God.
You could. I know you're in your friend's time, and you did the roll up. So I would like for you to enjoy the talk, but you can come down and be a listener. That'll be great. That either way. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for
You
having me. Well,
too.
we're gonna be here still. But that's making it happen.
All right. I love you, my dear. So I'm going to play Sonia. Sonia is a content creator here on Stereo app. She is a great supporter of the P2G Network's Breakfast with the Thomases, and she's also a great supporter of the Salty Coffee podcast. And I thought it was amazing that she, did her thing and she submitted her poem, and it's called "It's Just Something About." And I'm gonna play these messages, and then I'll play the poem for Sonia.
Hey, how you doing, Salty Coffee? Shout out to the room. Happy Easter to you and everyone.
Hey, Mr. Tubi Movie, also known as, I forget what was your other name. Thank you for coming, and thank you for wishing us a happy Easter, and happy any holiday today. I usually don't celebrate any federal or religious holidays, but I do celebrate Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest.
Yo, good morning. Shout out to you two lovely ladies, Salty Coffee and Tu Bizcochito. You're doing well today, ladies.
Hey, Edwin, thank you. Thank you for stopping by and supporting all of the contestants today. So we have 6 in total. And right now, Sonia was not able to make it to this live, but I will play her poem right now.
It's just something about. It's just something about. It's being at a party event in the same room, admiring each other from afar. Handsome with a strong jawline and his split black suit. I'm the lady in red, beautiful curves, natural hair, low-key want to hunch. It's just something about the grand red carpet entry as a couple, superpower couple, walking side by side. It's relationship goals, Mr. and Mrs. It's just something about finally getting home and listening to the sound of the zipper from my dress, unzipping, then feeling his gentle hands unhooking my diamond necklace. The feel of his masculine 5'10" body frame brushing up against me. It's us in our master bedroom with open balcony doors, ushering the breeze of the moonlight's air. Him running his fingers through my hair, my hands caressing his muscular back, my legs apart, middle-voiced, anticipating the thrust of his manhood. It's just something about falling asleep in his arms while watching Netflix, the smell of his cologne, the cozy ambiance on the couch, the aroma of veggie pizza, butter popcorn, potato chips, and sweet red wine. The light glare cast on the wall from the flat TV screen. Hashikashi! It's just something about, yes, ma'am, this bundle service would save you $250 for the year. And I replied, well, let me consult with my husband first. Thank you for your time. It's just something about dancing together on a lazy Saturday afternoon. Groove on, one step, two steps, body synchronized. It's top-notch dress to the T. Photo shoot, queen and king. Take a picture, click, click. Take a picture, click, click. It's just something about respecting his solitude, vice versa mine. Miss you, babe. FaceTime, praying and meditating together. Crisscross applesauce. Thank you, Lord. It's just something about having steak dinner at a 5-star restaurant, secretly paying the bill with the waiter. It's him, babe, hold on now. We gotta pay the bill. Gotta pay the bill now. It's me, babe, don't worry about it. I took care of it already. It's him looking puzzled in the face. You pay the bill? You pay the bill, babe? It's me, yeah. It's him and his thoughts. Well then, dang. Look at my baby. It's us walking out the restaurants to 2019 black Cadillac Escalade. Him opening the passenger door. It's him smacking my butt before getting into the car. It's just something about putting onions in his socks. Chicken noodle soup with soda on the side. It's just something about, congrats, you have a healthy baby. It's him walking into the hospital with a baby carriage. It's the small talks. It's just something about wanting to be somewhere peaceful and having some intimate moments. It's just something about. It's just something about. It's just something about. Dot, dot, dot.
That was from Sonia, who was not able to attend today to this live. And this is why we're going to have the voting afterwards with a link. And then everyone can, find out who the winner is after April 12th. So the voting session will be March 31st through April 12th. But congratulations, Sonia, for participating and taking the the risk, not risk, but the taking away the fear to actually come in and do this. Because I know you're a very shy person, even though you're here, but you're hilarious. I like how she said the voice of the man. You got this? That was just hilarious to me, but she's amazing. She's a lovely content creator on here, and she's very funny. She's a very funny young lady. But hopefully you'll hear this on the replay, and thank you again for sharing that. I want to give a shout out to Shonda Lulu, Sister Crystal, Mr. 2B Movie, Cryptos Unite, Tubis Cochito, who presented her poem and sang a song for us today in memory of my beloved mother. Shea Butter, how are you? And Carbon, hello, Carbon. I know, Carbon, you still have some time. So for those of you who would like to just participate and share another poem, feel free to do so. Just let me know on the back chat the time that you'd like to do that. And that's perfectly fine. So I'm going to play the video or the poem of the 2021 winner. The 2021 winner, and throughout these years, has always been $200. But this year, the winner will actually get 2 free courses from the P2G networks on financial literacy. And they have a choice to do the blockchain or the cryptocurrency. And that's more than $1,000 for those courses. So let's make sure that they have the opportunity to submit their this live to their family and friends and be able to vote. And even if you're in Europe or if you're in France, you can still benefit from the P2G network's financial literacy courses, because the global economy is cryptocurrency, if you really think about it. But they are sponsoring an equivalent of $1,000, because you can take the 200 and spend it on whatever you want, and that's my choice as a prize. But P2G networks will show you how to just take $100 of the 200 to make 1,000, and that's the idea, to promote empowering women on learning new ways of handling your finances. And the story of my mother's death, where we didn't have any finances, this is where, of course, the poetry contest comes in. So an evolving man's journey with Lawrence Johnson. So yes, men do participate in the Salty Coffee Poetry Contest. This is not all just women. And today, after this poem, the winner of 2021, Lawrence Johnson, I will play the one from Rav G 67 from here. He's from London, or he's British from somewhere. I'm not sure, but he applied last night late, and I just, had to stay up late to listen to it and record it and upload it. But here's Larry Johnson. For those of you who have children in the background, please know that the poem I'm about to play has a little bit of adult content. So feel free to, cover their ears or put your headsets on. Thank you.
If love is blind, then I got my eyesight back some time ago. Aging has a way of making a man go from looking at your thighs to staring in your eyes and behold the windows of your soul. When I was young, dumb, and filled with cum, I could not see beyond my infatuation with sex. The way the lips of her country looked, the reaction she made with each stroke, the thank you she gave me by covering my shaft with the white cream of her pleasure, the screams of satisfaction with the licks on her clit. Those feelings pale in comparison of what life taught me, because no one told me that those women's hearts were connected to their vaginas. And while a lot of them were falling in love, I was falling in lust. Love is acquired when one learns how to love, and one cannot learn to love until they learn self-love first. If you do not love yourself, how can you know what you want? Infatuation taught me true hurt and heartbreak, because companionship cannot be found with someone more selfish than you. Heartbreak taught me pain. Pain taught me loneliness. Loneliness taught me self-examination. Self-examination showed me who I really am. It was that person who I introduced myself to that I fell in love with. That is the person that has compassion and understanding. That is the person that knows how to give as well as receive. It is the man that sees the real woman he is with. The man that loves the look of your body, the scent of your DNA, and the taste of your juices flowing. For now, loving you means loving me, and with so much in life left to discover, love is good, but it begins with you.
And that was the winner from 2021. So I have 10 minutes to wait for the person who will be doing the 12 o'clock. But I'm going to introduce to you this gentleman who reached out to me last night because he was in the Hear Me Out from Dr. Poetry's talk every Saturdays. I believe it's at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And he was referred to come to the poetry contest. He's I don't know if he's in Germany or in London, but he is not in the United States. And I'm gonna play it. It's so long that I had to break it up in two parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and play. So we had Madame TT, we played Sonia's, and If I Was the Devil by Bernard.
If I were the devil, if I were the devil, I would start with your mind, creating fear and destruction till your weakness I find, making the most humblest of lives feel like an uphill slope, taking away all your faith and removing all hope. If I were the devil, I would inject a fear-hate infusion and take all your freedoms until it's just an illusion. I would treat you like slaves, so half your life would be spent on bare minimum wages, unable to save up a cent. If I were the devil, I would charge unaffordable medical fees and create and inject the far worse disease. I would lie and say, it's COVID you've got, and mandate you more illness in the form of a shot. If I were the devil, I would stop you from growing and prevent you from using God's seeds for your sowing. Like your vaccines and ingredients, I would not expose. And I'd poison your foods using cancer-causing GMOs. If I were the devil, I would make toxins increase. I would fly up above you and slowly release. I would mist up your skies so your sun is no more, which will prevent you from growing food and colder seas on the shore. If I were the devil, I would fracture humanity into the religion they serve or the colour they see. I would teach children false values till resentment is built. Then on the other race's children, I would then place the guilt. I would brainwash your children till their reality I destroy and make them uncomfortable to live as a girl or a boy. If I was a devil, I would brainwash you at school and then use all your outcome as a political tool. I would feed you hormone blockers and Adderall, I suspect, blaming your suicides on the condition instead of the drug side effects. If I were the devil, some techniques I would explore. One would be keeping your world in perpetual war. I would broadcast what I'm doing, creating heartbreak and pity, and create demonstrations and marches in your states and in your city. If I were the devil, I would make all this place no longer about friendship and more about race. I would make friendships less about respect and trust, and instead make them more about deceitfulness and lust. If this was the world that I was pursuing, I would tell whoever's running it, you're doing all right, just carry on what you're doing.
That was part one, and I'm going to play part two.
Now you know that I'm the devil. I've now set up the traps within the bills and the rules. I now have got into place my Luciferian workers to brainwash you fools. I have worked on you all year after year, to destroy your spirituality and replace it with fear. You are all so confused with your education you had that you have no intuition left, so you can't tell the good from the bad. You think that it's wrong to have an independent opinion. You believe you are free, but you're actually my minions. I brainwash you all through movies and songs. Now your faith is all weak, whereas once it was strong. I have gone into your churches and infected your preachers. I have uneducated your instincts in your schools using teachers. Your faith is no more, and your hope is now ceased. Now the next step is my ownership in the mark of my beast. The chemicals that I feed you to make your mind over-relax. You are freely spraying upon yourselves from aeroplanes the potion I named Funvax. I lied about your water, on your stupidity I relied. And now your brain function is how I want it with the help of fluoride. So the thoughts of you leaving this earth I control, along with all your anger and your fear. So no need to panic about hell. Unbeknownst to you all, you're already here.
Wow. When he sent me that last night, I was like, okay, you're bringing me back to reality. Come on now. But that was If I Were the Devil by Bernard. And again, for those of you who are just walking in, welcome. Welcome to the Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest. This is the 5th annual one. So we already had Madame TT earlier, who's a contestant. We had Sonia. She's not here live to perform, but we played her poem. It's Something About. And then we just heard If I Was a Devil by Bernard, and that was at 12. So right now I want to, for those of you who are walking in, I'm going to play again the reasoning behind the Salty Coffee Podcast and the Poetry Contest.
On March 31st, 1989, I accompanied my mother to the hospital for hernia removal surgery. Shortly after the anesthesia was administered, the doctor came back with the news that there were complications, and my mother had slipped into a coma. By April 12, 1989, the hospital determined that there was no hope and made the decision to pull the plug. At the time, I was just 19 years old and in my first year of college. I had to quit my part-time job and withdraw from school. The family had no financial means to cover the funeral expenses, and I had no savings or income to rely on. With the support of friends and family, I was able to start anew within a year. During my initial year of employment at Columbia University, I had the privilege of meeting exceptional colleagues who offered invaluable resources and guidance essential for a successful professional journey. Notably, Mr. Arthur Mack shared insights on investments, savings bonds, and tax deductions crucial for financial literacy. Sadly, the recent passing of Wilma Dunbar, a mentor in my personal life, left a profound impact. From the onset of my tenure at Columbia, she imparted knowledge on our bargaining agreement, shedding light on the ongoing struggle for human rights and gender equality. Our discussions underscored the progress made by women while emphasizing the need for continued advocacy and reform. My mission has been to empower women worldwide to discover their true identity through meaningful conversations and practical application of newfound knowledge. In pursuit of this goal, I established the Salty Coffee Podcast and initiated a poetry contest in memory of my late mother. Her teachings on integrity, respect, and accountability resonate in my endeavors, emphasizing the importance of upholding one's word without causing harm to others, whether physically or emotionally. I want to thank all of those who participated in the contest and the audience for listening every Sunday on Self-Care Sunday with Salty Coffee. Thank you all, and I love you.
Okay, yeah. We still haven't finished. We're going to just bring that story up for those who are walking in or just in the middle of this probably 2 to 3 hour episode. So thank you again, Mystical Mermaid. Hello, how are you? Shonda Lulu, Mr. Tubi Movie, Sister Crystal, my sister, Cryptos Unite, Auntie TT, welcome, and Madame TT who performed a song for us in memory of my beloved mother, and also is a contestant in the contest. And she shared with us her poem, and she shared it with us live. So I appreciate that, and she still has me crying from the song that she performed earlier. But thank you, and I'm just going to share with you So I shared with you the winner from 2021, and now I'm going to share with you the winner of 2022. The winner from 2022 was also a content creator here known as Visionary 126. I recently, I still keep in touch with them, even though they're no longer like participating on stereo. But I do keep in contact with them, and she's doing phenomenal and she's doing great. And Eternal Cradle by Monica.
The warmth of your cradle. The warmth of your cradle, the nourishment you provide. As I develop my sense of touch, the feeling of your warm appeal around my body, waiting patiently for the day to look into your eyes, to feel your arms around me. You push me out with great pains, which brings forth tears of joy. 126, you finally hold me in your arms. I'm safe here. This is love. This is comfort. I want to stay here forever. Your tone of voice, calming every emotion. When I cry, you calm me with a soft lullaby. I fall asleep in your arms. I'm safe here. This is love. This is comfort. I want to stay here forever. Floral aldehyde fragrance, citrus bergamot, hyacinth green leaf, tarragon peach, sandalwood, and vanilla captures your smooth scent. It's like a spring breeze that dispenses golden dandelion seeds over long distances with no barriers to carry it where it's comfortable to go. Like a lily pad drifting away in calming currents on stream. Sombers of emery wood on a sear, brightening up the night sky. My reflection in your eyes. Echoes of smooth jazz playing in the background. You lift me up with remnants of your essence. This is love. This cradle is made in eternity. Echoes of laughter and joy. Your mesh garments gently pillowing my skin. Plush like feathers as I lay in the warmth of your eternal cradle.
And that was the Eternal Cradle by Monica, who was the winner in 2022 for the Salty Coffee Poetry Contest. How's everyone doing? Should give a shout out to TBS. I don't know if I should go ahead and say the trademark. What up, dude? I tried. But what up, though? What's going on? For those of you who celebrate Easter, happy Easter to you. For those of you who celebrate just a Sunday, a peaceful Sunday, happy Sunday to you. And don't forget, every Sunday at 11 a.m. right here on stereo is the Self-Care Sunday with Salty Coffee. What we talk about on Self-Care Sunday is my journey to good health. And I should bring it up. I'll bring it up because the concept of having your parent pass away through a malpractice, gives you an understanding of what society has brought to you, and that can damage your body, and I think it's time for us to take good care of ourselves, whether we're 25, 35, 45, or 55. I never waited until now to, keep in healthy, have a healthy diet or workout. But it was post COVID that messed me up a little bit. But I'm proud to say that I've lost 28 pounds in 4 months, and I've maintained it still. And for the month of April, so Self-Care Sunday with Salty Coffee, we're going to engage in talking about weights and yoga and how important it is for that. So keep in mind that the topics will change sporadically, but with the understanding that we're still going to keep the health part conversation on it. And with the help of Sister Crystal, I will include one sentence or one word or phrase in Spanish. So because she's no longer able to connect with her app for free, Salty Coffee, myself, the host, has arranged that every Sunday at the beginning of the talk, I'm going to give a phrase or a word in Spanish for people to just come in and learn a little bit. I'll do like 10 minutes just for people to come in and have that talk. And this way, we can help Sister Crystal in exploring her dual language and understanding Spanish. And learning Spanish is not easy when it comes to the dialect, because every country may have a different term for specific words or phrases. So that's the only thing that's very difficult to learn when you're learning Spanish. That what Mexicans may call cake in Mexico, what the word cake in Mexico may mean something else in Dominican Republic. And that's all I have to say for that right now. But thank you so much. To be movie and spectacular, mystical mermaid, Shonda Lulu, Sister Crystal, TBS, Cryptos Unite, Auntie Titi, Tubi Scochito, who has been here all morning with her presentation, her music, and her poem, and Isabella, Dr. Poetry. Thank you so much. I don't know, M-Spec, are you available to come now? Because I have you last, but I think if you're here now and available now, we can either, oh, did she just leave? We can either play your poem because I have it recorded, or you can mention it. You can do it now if you want to. And if anyone has a poem, whether it's theirs or someone else, feel free to come up and share that with us.
Good morning. Happy Easter Sunday. Shout out to the building. Big love to Salty Coffee for putting this on. Morning to you. Thank you for taking us the time to put this on. We appreciate you. Hope everybody's had a blessed weekend. What up, though?
Perfect. I just got a message that I'm able to play and Spectacular's poem. And just for those of you who are just walking in, I mentioned this before. I will let the episode and the contest just play, and then I will create a voting form, only because it is Easter, but the concept of today's date is different for me. And there's a reason why March 31st was picked. And so with that being said, I know that it's very difficult for you to perform and, have your family engage or participate. So I will have the voting form after the entire contest has been completed today. I will email it to you so that you can email it to your family and friends, along with the episode from YouTube, so that they can watch it. And then they have until April 12th to vote for you. And I think that's just a fair way to do it because we have Madame Titi, who's all the way in Paris, and we have Bernard, who I know his voice sounded like he's Irish, but I don't know where he's from, but he's not in the United States. So I think that's just the fair thing to do.
Thank you, Salty Coffee, for having this opportunity to share our poetry in one space. And stay spectacular. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You're the bomb. All right, so let's play because this other poet How I Exhale was at 12:30, but we can play and Spectacular's poetry now. 10 Surprise. And for those of you who don't get it by listening to it, you're not Latino. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm sure this is like a tradition and something that's happened. But if you have like 5 minutes to come up after I've played it to just give us a little bit, or even leave a message to give us a little bit about what prompted you to send this poem and how, what are your thoughts, grandparents or anything like that, please feel free to share and come up and share. So I'm going to play now 10 Surprise by Miss M Spectacular.
In a kitchen filled with dreams and delight, I sought a cookie to savor with all my might. But alas, my hopes were soon to be dashed, for the cookie bin held a secret unmasked. With anticipation I opened its lid, imagining sweetness a treat to forbid. But to my dismay, what did I find? Sewing accessories, not cookies of any kind. Needles and threads, buttons and pins, lay where cookies should have been. My cravings for sweetness quickly turned sour, as disappointment consumed me in that hour. Oh, how my taste buds longed for a treat, yet all I found was a sewing retreat. The cookie bin deceived, a trickster it played, leaving my taste buds unfulfilled and betrayed. But life's surprises, they often unfold in ways we least expect, the stories untold. And though my cookie craving remains unfulfilled, I'll savor the sweetness in lessons distilled.
I'm all for generational trauma, which is why my future kids will continue to not see cookies in the cookie tin, but they will see flour and or sewing materials. But this is also old school. I think kids nowadays aren't going to the supermarket to buy butter cookies, but they're buying Oreos. Let the trauma continue.
Amazing. I love it. I am exactly loving it. Thank you, and Spectacular. So again, if you have like 5 minutes or 3 minutes to just come up real quick to tell us a story about that 10 surprise that we all experience, and it's just like, well, who ate their cookies? Where are the cookies? Why is there stuff in here other than cookies? It's just amazing how those little tin cans have been with us.
Hello, Salty Coffee.
Hola, mi amor. How you doing today? I know you're busy.
Yes. Oh, let me see if I could.
So tell me.
But I think you play for me to share my poetry here with you on your 5th annual anniversary. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Tell us real quick about the 10 surprise. What's up with that?
One is the one that I thought was you. And that's crazy because I was like, I would never do that. Even when things that I know. I put it because they're good things, and what do I put it in? Sewing materials. It's the perfect sound so sultry again, you're so goofy. And I'm like, what do you mean? But then I'm like, the first thing I did was I laughed when I remembered the one that I sent you to play here today.
That's amazing. But I'm loving it. Thank you so much for sharing your 10 surprise because surprisingly enough, I'm sure there's millions of kids who have experienced that and still continue to experience it. And I love the ending where you added you will never do that to your children. And anyway, they're buying Oreos, and I think that was a beautiful touch to it to the end. But thank you so much for participating. And I appreciate you and TBS and your journey on your businesses and your talk. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to share this with your family and friends and watch it on YouTube tonight or tomorrow night or any other night. So you have until April 12th to share it with your family and friends for them to vote for you. And good luck. I love you too.
So where you save your household material? Because it could be a cigar box.
It could be anything. It could be your condoms. It could be your birth control pills. I mean, it could just be anything, really. But
oh my gosh, okay.
bye, Aspect.
You know, United States for time, everybody.
You too.
Yeah, Aspect, you know that candy butter cookies you get for Christmas. Keep my loose change and back to it.
Loose change.
Every time my mama give me one, she turned it into a weed jar.
Mm-hmm.
So look at my new weed jar. It's a Christmas cookie box. She got one now that light up and make noise. Back to it.
Wow. I never heard of a cookie jar that lights up and makes noise, but hey. All right. I'm going to now play the winner of 2023, which was last year with Luna Goddess. But if you have, for those of you who are walking in, welcome. Welcome. This is the 5th annual Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest for a chance for the winners or the contestants to win $200. This year is going to be a little bit different because in addition to the $200 cash, you will also get a chance to participate in 2 financial literacy courses with P2G Networks, where those $200 you can do whatever you want with the $200. But in collaboration with them, it makes no sense to just give the 200, right? And then you're just spending it. So why not at least learn through financial literacies with them where you could take the 100? And I'll give you a perfect example. I started 200 with private banking with them, and now it's up to 1,600 through private banking. And that's the whole concept of what they're going to sponsor with you in addition to the 200. Again, you can do whatever you want with the 200, but they will be willing to give you 2 free courses worth up to $1,000 to learn how to do cryptocurrency and private banking and blockchain and all that good stuff. Welcome again, Mr. Tubi Movie and Spectacular, Mystical Mermaid, Shonda Lulu, Sister Crystal, check yourself, welcome. TBS, Cryptos Unite, who's been hanging in there with his questionable emoji, Auntie TT, Carbon, Isabella, and Frenchie. Frenchie, you sent me a message. Let me just check it. Give me 1 second. Don't forget, for those of you. Okay, so Frenchie, the registration for the contest is passed. It was last night. But if you would like to share a poem, feel free to let me know when you're available to do that. If you're available right now to share it, you can. Unfortunately, the registration ended last night, so you had to submit your information last night in order to participate in the contest. So I'm sorry about that, but if you would like to come or anyone would like to share a poem, without being in the contest, feel free to do that if you want to. And I'm going to play now Luna Goddess, the winner of 2023. It's kind of long, so bear with me.
It's called Elephant in the Room. I wrote this poem in October of 2021, and actually it was more of a channeled message that needed to get out. So I was in between clients in my car trying to get this get the words together because it kept coming. So that's what this is. And should I just start?
Yeah, unless you want to share what clients. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. You can start. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, channels and let the messages. Yeah. I get it.
So,
but go ahead if you want to share that. That's fine, or you can go ahead and start. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I do channel messages. That just started happening over more frequently over the past 2 years. I channel messages from spirit, from source, or whatever, ancestors. And this was the first time that I actually experienced something like this to this capacity. So, and even so much so the words that they were giving me, I had to I had to look up in a dictionary because I wasn't really sure if it made sense or what was happening. So that's how that went. Before I start though, the young lady Karen who started off first, she said the name of her poem was Choose. And when I got up today, I decided to commit to doing yoga and meditation for 30 days. And I was scrolling on YouTube trying to find a yoga practice. And I happened to find one that this girl was actually doing the 30-day challenge. And yes, today was day 1. So I happened to stumble upon that. And the word for today was choose. And so the prompt that she gave us was to decide what did we need to choose. And my answer for that was me. And all of this is aligned, and I love how it's just lining up. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Like I said, this is called The Elephant in the Room. I promise that when you finally get a glimpse, just a small glimpse of what people who love you see, you're going to be blown away at how true it's been the whole time. It's like cleaning off the lens of your glasses for the very first time. It's like a fresh pair of contacts, but literally new contacts. Who the fuck is this? Pay attention to the ones that tried to play you. Better yet, tear down your self-esteem. The same ones that laughed at your dreams, but secretly tried to mimic that shit. The exact ones that try to take that shit. Yes, I'm talking use your heart for their egotistical gain. Oh, but they thought they could sprinkle your magic on their God-forsaken terrain. But guess what? They won't prosper. Because all the weapons they tried to form against you, they shall not prosper. And I said no weapon. I do mean no voice, and no ill will shall prosper. And I mean they got to get ghosts like Casper, pretending to be friendly kinfolk. And I mean presenting themselves as sheep, but dressed in wolves' clothes. All inauthenticity shall and will be exposed. It is blasphemous. The tongue speaks negatively. You cannot curse me. I exude a God energy. Yes, I said it, but let me repeat myself for those who thought they misunderstood me. I said I exude a God energy. So fuck your opinion about who you think I am. I am that God says I am. A warrior, a priestess, a healer. I am victorious, a mastermind, and I shall master the mind because I can. If you take a closer look into your neglected soul, you too would be surprised by all the things you're bound to find. So go ahead and pay the toll, free your mind, learn forgiveness, and in divine time, you will begin to experience for yourself the benevolent power of the Most High. Cry out to God, even with your shaking voice. Your words carry power, but my love, it is your choice. You can choose to be free or be bound by the weight of the world, your struggle confined by your overpopulated mind due to a mental bind and a lack mentality. But one day you'll find that rest unlocks a stillness, and through an open heart will you discover true emotional fulfillment. Rest assured that satisfaction is guaranteed, but let not your thoughts control your actions, my love. You gotta be at peace with giving their vices little to no of that satisfaction. And I say little because you need to show up in a way where your light shines so bright that not even you can fathom how in the hell, and I mean how with the hell did I get here? How on this earth did I become so rare? But truth is, you were always a gem. And might I add, a very precious one, hidden in the shadows of your peers. So you better believe that there's an exceptional explanation for why God kept you there. See, you are, I am a magnificent creation of the one omnipotent creator, a very powerful and unique being with ultimate and infinite potential to prosper, like a phoenix rising from the in-depth celestial body of the moon's impacted crater. Do you feel free yet? Has your higher self, your God self, taken the lead yet? Well, let me address the triumphant elephant in the room. I am the triumphant elephant in the room, successfully embodying the intelligence, the wisdom, the majesty, because I am majestic. And let's not overlook my loyalty, my strength, and your audacity to think for 1 second that I would fold under pressure. Baby, I am the one applying pressure, so be mindful of your gestures. I pray your soul exists in stature, and let me be clear, I have arrived. She has arrived, and I am making my presence known. My name is already being discussed in rooms my feet hasn't even been shown. Just know that I am coming full steam ahead. My life has been perfectly orchestrated and molded by the divine, but my love, we can all break bread. After all, isn't that what Jesus did? Before there was bloodshed, they said he died for that which we call sin. God would forgive.
And that was Luna Goddess, the winner of 2023. And she just knocked the room down. She had, there was thunder, there was lightning, there was chills up my spine. And I truly am grateful for Luna Goddess and all of the participants from last year, the year before, and the year before that. And the hope is that with introducing yourself in this type of platform and format and sharing your intimate words that come out of your heart, your soul, is important for us to know, to follow up with those who participated and to follow up with them, whether they receive the cash prize or not. We still continue to support all of the participants in making sure that they are okay and that their goals and their dreams are fulfilled in a very respectful manner. So Luna Goddess is amazing, and she's really has changed a lot since last year to now. And I am so appreciative of her and all of the participants throughout these 5 years. They've become family. And with this year, I'm hoping that everybody knows that the prize winning is in remembrance of my mom. And for those of you who are just walking in, I will play the origins of the podcast and why it is a contest. But if anyone wants to leave messages now, please go ahead and do so now. And don't forget, for those of you on Stereo app, we're also live broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Hey, Salty Coffee. And hello, listeners. How you guys doing? I was here for that 2023 and that 2022. I loved both of the people that won. You know what I'm saying? I love when you do these.
Thank you. This year, I mean, usually April is Poetry Month, but this year, March 31st, marks the 35th year of my mother's passing. And this poetry contest is on behalf of my mom. And so it's always good to come in at least once a year so that we can get together and just share a nice time together. Some people celebrate Easter, some people celebrate other holidays and religious holidays or federal holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. This will be just a one time that you can always come back to the replay. Last year's poetry contest and the year before, they are on here on the Stereo app. You can always go back to the replay, or you can always go back to YouTube and Facebook, I believe, to find them on the replay. So I'm going to now, because she hasn't shown up, but her name is Elizabeth, and she has a poem. She's a contestant, and her poem is How I Exhale.
I heard this quote. Let the world burn through you. Throw the crimson light white hot on paper. Ray Bradbury. It spoke to the broken pieces of me to help piece them back together. I was 12 when each breathing molecule making up and holding together the everything parted into nothing. When the streetlights were outshined by 30-something pairs of piercing eyes and the dark echoed with the reverberations of the incomprehensible words where everything was meaningless. I placed every bleeding drop of hope at the bottom of a wishing well where they lay hopeless. I was 15 when he carved every chiseled feature in every particle of conscious nerve in my possession. When he carefully placed all the nothings into more than everything, only to later, one by one, piece by piece, little by little, crushed each one of them as they disintegrated into something more than parted. I folded 1,000 paper cranes in a fruitless belief of being granted that one wish. 19 years have passed since those molecules first parted, and I carry an unaligned spine, a few ruptured pages, but turn the pages. Inhale the essence of me. Touch the nakedness weaved around my ribcage. Taste the fragments of qualities of the iridescible by them, by him. The one scribed permanently upon what is remained untouchable. Throwing ink-stained pebbles I bathe in every ripple cast, laying my mouth upon misplaced footprints that now birth and burn memories, breathing meaning. I draw each tempest breath through the unwashed dye laying at the base of an inkwell. And I exhale.
I like how everyone this year got creative and sent their audio with the music in the background. That was awesome. I didn't request that, but that was interesting. And that was How I Exhale by Elizabeth. Again, for those of you who are just walking in, welcome to the 5th annual poetry contest with Salty Coffee and Bexamillion. Isabella, welcome back. Mr. Tubi Movie, M Spectacular, Shonda, Sister Crystal, TBS, Check Yourself, Cryptos Unite. Thank you so much for hanging in there. We have one more poem. Although it's scheduled for 1:30. She's on the East Coast. I'm sorry, on the West Coast. So I'm hoping to get her now to come in now. But she's a care builder. Karen, she owns a business over there in California. It's a thrift store called Crazy Bargains, and she's amazing. It's Marcel, though. Hello, how are you? Um, and for those of you who are walking in now, again, I will just let you know that the Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest is in memory of my beloved mother. And if you could just hang in there for a break, we're going to take a break now just to see if we can get Miss Karen in. But in the meantime, how's everyone doing? Just so you're aware, we are on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And here's a message for those of you who just walked in.
On March 31st, 1989, I accompanied my mother to the hospital for hernia removal surgery. Shortly after the anesthesia was administered, the doctor came back with the news that there were complications, and my mother had slipped into a coma. By April 12, 1989, the hospital determined that there was no hope and made the decision to pull the plug. At the time, I was just 19 years old and in my first year of college. I had to quit my part-time job and withdraw from school. The family had no financial means to cover the funeral expenses, and I had no savings or income to rely on. With the support of friends and family, I was able to start anew within a year. During my initial year of employment at Columbia University, I had the privilege of meeting exceptional colleagues who offered invaluable resources and guidance essential for a successful professional journey. Notably, Mr. Arthur Mack shared insights on investments, savings bonds, and tax deductions crucial for financial literacy. Sadly, the recent passing of Wilma Dunbar, a mentor in my personal life, left a profound impact. From the onset of my tenure at Columbia, she imparted knowledge on our bargaining agreement, shedding light on the ongoing struggle for human rights and gender equality. Our discussions underscored the progress made by women while emphasizing the need for continued advocacy and reform. My mission has been to empower women worldwide to discover their true identity through meaningful conversations and practical application of newfound knowledge. In pursuit of this goal, I established the Salty Coffee podcast and initiated a poetry contest in memory of my late mother. Her teachings on integrity, respect, and accountability resonate in my endeavors, emphasizing the importance of upholding one's word without causing harm to others, whether physically or emotionally. I want to thank all of those who participated in the contest and the audience for listening every Sunday on Self Care Sunday with Salty Coffee. Thank you all, and I love you.
I think this is phenomenal to do it. I think it's phenomenal to do it annually to honor your mother. A lot of people deal with grief in a different way. Allowing your mother's name to live on in such a beautiful way, to honor her in such a beautiful way on a very special day. To you and to the world, I think it's phenomenal. And it's a way you can carry her on in your heart, in your spirit, and with the rest of the world. So I salute you for not only starting this, but continuing this. And I hope you find relief in your heart and this passion for her and what you decide to do with it. And you know, fulfilling yourself by other people as well. So big love, big salute to you for that. And rest in peace to your mom.
Thank you, TBS. I truly appreciate that, and it's the only thing I know what to do. Thank you.
Shout out to you, Salty Coffee, for its 5th annual Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest. And to all the participants, I wish you all luck. I've been listening to some beautiful, beautiful expressions. Shout out to the room. And I'm going to come back with a little clip. I'm thinking of you, Salty, and your mom. And I definitely understand that. All right. Love you.
Thank you, Isabella, also known as Dr. Poetry. Hey, Miss Cheesecake. ¿Cómo estás, mi amiga? Bex the Million, it's Marcelo. How are you? And Sparkly Queen, what's going on? How you doing, young lady? Carbon, Cryptos Unite, who has been there with his emoji, Wondering Face TBS. Check this though. Sister Crystal, who has been here throughout as well. Thank you for hanging in there. Edwin, Shondalulu, and Mr. Tubi Movie.
Hi, Dr. Coffee.
Hola.
Happy Easter. I hope you enjoy your Easter today. This is Auntie Spocky, aka Spocky Queen. I hope you have an amazing day. May the Lord bless you and enjoy your day. God bless. Be blessed now. Peace. Stay safe.
Thank you, Sparkly Queen. To your beautiful self. Thank you so much.
Yo, shout out to you, Salty Coffee. But you got over here tearing up and whatnot. But I think this is dope. This is really dope, and it speaks volumes on how awesome your mom was when she was here. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm excited for the poetry competition. It happens every year, you know. And the last time I came through, I got to hear some really, really awesome poetry. So I can't wait. We definitely hit this playback. And I'm excited for the next poem.
Thank you, it's Marcel. I know you were there last year, and it was crazy last year. And people, it was more live on stereo, and there was more activity on stereo than ever. And Luna Goddess just like blew me away, along with everybody else. The other contestants were shy, would not even dare to do something like this. But with encouragement and motivation, sometimes some people just need a little bit of help with getting out there, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think empowering women specifically to have their word said out in a very artistic way, or just to express themselves. It could have been their prayer, it could have been anything, and it was amazing last year and the previous years.
But mama, you taught me how to be strong and brave. It was so great with your love.
That's for you, Salty. I've been listening for a little bit, and I'm just thinking of you, and good thing for your mom. This is wonderful. Congratulations to you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Isabella, and thank you for that. It means a lot. The good thing about technology today is that we can, capsule all of these conversations, and hopefully our children's and great grandchildren, it would be somewhere in the cloud where they can go back and listen to this and have a good history on it. And I'm making it a priority to make sure that all of the poetry contests and anything, conversations and episodes are capsuled in the blockchain world, to make sure that my future generation has access to it, and that it's there for them to view. There's a learning curve where you can't find your own ancestral information, because you weren't part of that system or program. And that's the sad part. It's the sad part that I can't go back to Dominican Republic and find my great grandparents' information, because that's just not how the system worked at the time. So this is a great way for all of us who are here listening, whether it be on stereo, YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, or on Spotify, that you remember that and keep that in mind, that you capsule your history, because the one thing you never want to do is to have somebody else tell it for you. So to me, a legacy left behind is the information and the knowledge, and not so much the property and the homes or the stuff.
Oh, so sorry for the loss of your mother, Salty Coffee. I am praying for you. I hope all is well. You and your family will most definitely be in my prayers. God bless.
Thank you, Sparkly Queen. It's been 35 years, and I have to admit, I've come a long way, and it's just a understanding that even though her physical being is no longer here, she's been always here with me, always, and that I know for sure. But thank you.
Hey, Salty Coffee. Hey there, everyone, listeners. This is awesome. I think this is my first time catching your contest live. Also, I want to say it is awesome. Rest in paradise to your mom. It is awesome that you are honoring your mom in this way. A great way, not only honoring your mom, but while helping other artists get their poetry out there or what have you. So kudos to you, and I will continue to listen.
Thank you. I was wondering when I was going to get my hey hays. Thank you, Sister Crystal, for always coming to the Self-Care Sundays with Salty Coffee. Your presence is always is amazing to always have you there. And I will continue to support you as well, and always be on your talks, because your talks are, I mean, I always learn something new with you. I know you were with Queen Donatella last night, and I loved it. I loved the conversation. It flowed, and it made a lot of sense. Understanding each other, and I'm hoping to see more of that within this platform and any other platform as well. So we are going to give you a little of our sponsorship because this broadcast was sponsored by the P2G Networks and also by the Salty Coffee Podcast.
P2G presents Black Girls in Web3 podcast, hosted by Wanda Suero. P2G presents Black Girls in Web3 podcast, hosted by Wanda Suero, also known as Salty Coffee, Dazzle Daniels, also known as Dazzle D, and myself, L. Ruby Thomas, known as Miss Ruby, Crypto Queen of Harlem, y'all. Tune in weekly as we strive to educate and elevate our community's financial literacy. We bring you professional and expert speakers, share insights from our personal wealth journeys, and introduce workshops and resources to empower you. Join us every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com at P2G Networks TV for an hour of Black Girl Power, where we're shaping the future of finance in Web3. Peace, and see you there.
So yes, that's a new podcast that Salty Coffee will be co-hosting with Miss Ruby from Breakfast with the Thomases and Dazzle D right now from What Does Daz Do? Her name is just Dazzle D. But Dazzle D is having a conference over in Colorado with people who partake in 420. And I know for everyone, I know it's Sunday and I know it's Easter, and I know 420 just brings up the word cannabis or weed, but the industry is changing to something more than just that. right? It's making clothes out of hemp is important because it's more sustainable. Making products out of hemp. So when you think about cannabis or you think about 420, don't let it hit you as a negative connotation of just smoking weed, if you will. Um, and the industry is growing within the blockchain world and the cryptocurrency world. And I'm hoping that more people will engage in conversations about doing that. And this conference is on April 18th through the 21st, all the way in Denver, Colorado. If you need more information, feel free to just come over to the p2gnetworks.com website, or come and listen to our launch. We launched the podcast, Black Girls in Web3. We launched it last night at 7 p.m. on YouTube. So feel free to stop by there. And the winner of this contest will actually be partaking in conversations for full membership through the back end of the organization, because it is an organization, but everything we are going to be organizing with this organization, we will be discussing on the podcast in real time. So stay tuned for that. Salty Coffee will always be here on Sunday, so don't worry about that. But this is a place where we want more women involved. It's sad to see that there are more men in cryptocurrency having the conversation and their wives are just, conducting business as usual. So we always wonder, why aren't the wives in these conversations or in the trainings or in the courses? So I think it's very important. I no longer want to see people having to do GoFundMes to help their family bury their loved one. This is the place where you will want to come to learn how not to have to do that any longer. So come on in, tune in. And if you have a place of worship that's not helping you in your financial literacy or financial, how to do your taxes for free or notary, because those are some of the things that we will be doing, then that means that you can learn how to do these things and bring it to your churches or organizations to uplift people to do better and to do more, right? And now I'm going to play Miss Karen's poem, Purpose and People. She had scheduled hers for 1:30, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up a little bit and play hers. And she's also known here on stereo as Miss Care Builder. She's amazing. She's the one that has the Crazy Bargains thrift store in California and did great during COVID. And she's also participant in the organization for the P2G networks.
People in Purpose, poem by Care Builder. People in purpose go hand in hand as part of the processes of this land. Even those that stay to themselves and don't like interaction, as they make phone and internet orders, it still takes hands, feet, and energy, the purpose of people, to make this happen. As we have minds and thoughts that intertwine in the ethers, nature, and divine, the thoughts turning to things that form a synergistic line. One idea comes, then that gets formed to something we can grasp, spreading from one soul to the next, multiplying around the world, and we connect. People in purpose should be for the People in Purpose, poem by Care Builder. People in purpose go hand in hand as part of the processes of this land. Even those that stay to themselves and don't like interaction, As they make phone and internet orders, it still takes hands, feet, and energy, the purpose of people, to make this happen. As we have minds and thoughts that intertwine in the ethers, nature, and divine, the thoughts turning to things that form a synergistic line. One idea comes, then that gets formed to something we can grasp, spreading from one soul to the next, multiplying around the world, and we connect. People in purpose should be for the.
All right, that's cutting off. So let me just get the file. Sorry about that. So for those of you who would like to share a poem that may have been written by you or not by you, feel free to hop on. If not, feel free to leave a message. Hello, Crystalina, how are you? Welcome. All right, here we go. And that was by Karen, our care builder here, known on Stereo app. And she also has a Facebook page. And she's amazing. She's wonderful. She will be introduced and interviewed on the Black Girls Do in Web3 podcast. So don't forget, every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be on YouTube on the P2G Networks TV. And I will let you all know, for those of you who are just walking in, the poetry contest contestants will be posted on our website. Each of their poem will be there, and you will be able to post your votes on our website. So it's not on there yet. I will post it by 3 p.m. today, Eastern Time, and then you can feel free to go ahead and click on the link and vote for your favorite poem. We had Madame TT with Trilengua. We had Sonia with something. It's just something about. I apologize. I just lost it for a minute there. We had Bernard with If I Was the Devil, 2 parts, but it's just one poem. We had Elizabeth with How I Exhale. And then we had And Spectacular with Tin Surprise, and Karen with People and Purpose. So when you go to the website, you will see each poem posted, and then you are going to click on the link on which will be next to each poem to vote for them. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for supporting the salty coffee by just listening, by just sharing and commenting and leaving a comment. And for the contestants, I appreciate your energy to just fill out the form. I know it's not as easy as some people may think, but everybody did it flawlessly. I'm very happy that this year I did not have to help anyone fill it out and submit their information. Your information is safe with the Salty Coffee Podcast because it is a business and we do have an LLC. So, in order to regain the funds for this podcast contest, I do just need at least some information, right? Just to make sure that you're legit. And if you need any help in learning how to copyright your information, feel free to reach out by email and we can do that as well. And that protects you from, if you're no longer wanting your information on the Salty Coffee podcast, we have the ability to remove it whenever you desire to do that. The objective, again, is to us to help each other, support each other in networking and giving information that's essential to our daily needs when it comes to finances, right? So I am so happy that this whole poetry contest, in previous years, it has not been easy doing this on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch by myself and stereo. It's not easy. And for those of you who have done large shows, you already know. And for those of you who continue to do large shows and networking, you already know that this is not easy. But everything went smoothly today. No Mercury retrograde. And thank you again for your support. For those of you who are just walking in, I'm going to play one more time as to why the Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest exists, its origins of it, and the purpose of it as well. And don't forget, for those who win, not only will you get $200, but you will also get 2 financial literacy courses through the P2G networks, with the understanding that you should at least get $1,000 within, let's say, 5 months, because that's how much I got with my $200. So I hope that you take some time for yourself every Sunday and self-care, and next week, what's on next week? Next week is so next week is self-care bacchanal, and I will be, actually no, that's Saturday. That's going to be Saturday, but I'm going to talk about it on Sunday. Spring cleaning, 5 basic principles for getting organized. And one of the things that I learned from my ancestors and my grandmother, my mother, and every woman in the Caribbean island is that every Saturday is taken for you to clean the house, right? So that you can get ready to go to church on Sundays. And even though you clean the house throughout the year, that was because women stayed home and were able to do those things. As women now today, we are also at work, we're taking care of kids, we're working during the day, whether we're working from home or not. It takes away some time for us to just exhale and relax. And that's the purpose of the self-care Sundays. It's just for you to take a day to just relax and do you. So we talk about healthy eating. We talk about what to ask your doctors or your physicians. We talk about losing weight, healthy, naturally. We talk about what foods are good, which foods are not. And it's sort of kind of like a fun way to just come in and have conversations, because we're learning more from having the conversation with each other than to just, bring it out there. So thank you again, everyone. And I'm going to play one more time the origins of the Salty Coffee Podcast and the Poetry Contest.
On March 31st, 1989, I accompanied my mother to the hospital for hernia removal surgery. Shortly after the anesthesia was administered, the doctor came back with the news that there were complications, and my mother had slipped into a coma. By April 12, 1989, the hospital determined that there was no hope and made the decision to pull the plug. At the time, I was just 19 years old and in my first year of college. I had to quit my part-time job and withdraw from school. The family had no financial means to cover the funeral expenses, and I had no savings or income to rely on. With the support of friends and family, I was able to start anew within a year. During my initial year of employment at Columbia University, I had the privilege of meeting exceptional colleagues who offered invaluable resources and guidance essential for a successful professional journey. Notably, Mr. Arthur Mack shared insights on investments, savings bonds, and tax deductions crucial for financial literacy. Sadly, the recent passing of Wilma Dunbar, a mentor in my personal life, left a profound impact. From the onset of my tenure at Columbia, she imparted knowledge on our bargaining agreement, shedding light on the ongoing struggle for human rights and gender equality. Our discussions underscored the progress made by women while emphasizing the need for continued advocacy and reform. My mission has been to empower women worldwide to discover their true identity through meaningful conversations and practical application of newfound knowledge. In pursuit of this goal, I established the Salty Coffee podcast and initiated a poetry contest in memory of my late mother. Her teachings on integrity, respect, and accountability resonate in my endeavors, emphasizing the importance of upholding one's word without causing harm to others, whether physically or emotionally. I want to thank all of those who participated in the contest and the audience for listening every Sunday on Self Care Sunday to Salty Coffee. Thank you all, and I love you.
Your day, and keep in mind that even though it's Easter Sunday, there's other people out there celebrating other things, and it's not always about the bunnies and the chickens and the eggs. But I'm happy that you're happy to do what you believe is best for you and your family. But one thing I will definitely share today is that if you die today, will your children be okay? And that's the message for today. So make sure that you take care not only of yourself so that your children are okay, but to take care of yourself so that you can have a good outcome and legacy for your children. Have a great day, and I love you always.